I can't play with you at the moment. Sorry.
We are live, Dean.
Well, it's not live, is it? It's a recording.
Well, you are real life. It's just that they're
Yes,
not
but
seeing
it's
you.
not live, so it doesn't count as live. Real life, yeah, but it's not live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for talking with me and for talking to my doctors. They're really, very, very grateful for your time, as am I. Leaping straight into the questions because it is late and you've got college tomorrow.
Sick form.
College.
I go to one of the best sick forms in the country, I'll have you know.
Oh, I do know, yeah.
Have I not said it before?
Once or twice.
Once or twice.
Okay, leaping straight into the questions. Dean, what helped you to feel at home when you first moved in?
Called it, didn't I? Not thought about this in a while. What helped me feel at home when I moved in? I mean, you got me a bunch of cool toys and stuff, and like familiarised me with the layout. We played a bunch of games, took me around the house and stuff, and it was really cool. Yeah, you got me a bunch of stuff to distract me from that, like the toys and stuff. Would have helped if you got the right colours.
Unbelievable.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, and I say this, but it is true, but not in the way it's going to sound. It's lots of distractions almost, trying to ease me into it. So by the time I realise it's changed, I'm used to it.
Oh, okay.
That works for me quite well. Everyone's different, but that was quite good for me. I was like, oh, look at these toys and these covers, they're almost the right ones.
So staying busy, being active.
Like went to the park a lot and like that kind of thing. We played loads of games. We didn't just mope around and like sit at home watching TV with me in this random room.
That'd be a pretty lousy moving in, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like do a lot of stuff, like make them feel like part of the family. Like it was really helpful for me when it was my first birthday, like a week or two after I moved in.
Yeah.
Not first birthday, 7th birthday. But
yeah.
First birthday with the family, because I got a bunch of free stuff from these people that I've just moved in with. So I was loving life.
Well, it was interesting actually because we discussed this today about moving in and around birthdays and stuff, and is this a good idea, bad idea? And they tend to try and avoid.
They avoid it because they don't want you to meet, like, have to try and meet the whole family or avoid the family or whatever. And it's also,
it's actually more about each time it's your birthday, you will remember that that's the time that you moved. So actually, on your birthday, which is supposed to be a really exciting time, it might bring up some difficult feelings.
I mean, if you get them a bit older, then it won't affect them like that as much. Like they got me when I was turning 7, you know. So like now, look at my 7th birthday; it was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like my birthdays, I love them so much.
That's
like,
good.
and they've nothing to do with moving. It's all about free stuff. That's the only reason I celebrate it. Do you care I'm getting older?
do you find that there's any points of the year where you have any sort of moments where you're like, oh, I'm feeling a bit wobbly here, or I'm thinking more about Lisa at the moment? Do you ever have those times?
I'm always a bit wobbly because I'm a teenager.
Proper emotion, yeah.
No, I don't get like that. Like that's me personally. Everyone's different, and some aren't as resilient.
Okay.
Okay. But me personally, I don't get like that. But yeah, it's just keeping busy. I say like distract them from the surroundings, like the unfamiliar surroundings. Some of the time that they're familiar, it's all right and stuff.
Yeah.
Like do a lot of stuff. Don't just sit home and watch TV or whatever.
Okay.
Even if you get them like video games, they're amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, just like get them stuff to take them away from the fact that they've just moved and like unfamiliar house. You know, like help them like read and sleep tonight. You know, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So moving into more of the sensory and sort of
like kind of familiarising them subconsciously with their surroundings.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying like
this is
and then you're going to sit and watch TV for 2 hours and not do anything.
Okay.
So if you've done that with me, I mean, I'm in this stranger's house in this strange room for 2 hours and I'm bored.
Yeah. How long before you felt like you could call our place home?
I mean, I called it home from the offset because I understood. I was a very wise 7-year-old sometimes.
If not modest.
No, I was very aware of what's going on. Like a lot of
Yeah.
7-year-olds, like a lot of kids won't really know what's happening. It's moving home or whatever. But I understood that this was my new home quite well, and so for me, I sort of straight away I knew. But when it really set in was after we pushed the paperwork through the mailbox.
Yep.
That was me like, okay, this is it now. There's no going back.
Do you want to explain what that means?
So obviously, when a kid gets adopted, they have like I call it a probation period almost.
Yeah.
Of living with their family, like forever family, and then at the end of it, they'll submit paperwork, and it's like all signed like the kid gets to approve it, yeah, like and all that. And if the kid doesn't want to be there, they can say. And if the adults don't want the kid, like all that. I've never heard of it happening. You've never told me of it happening. I hope it doesn't happen because that'd be awful. break a kid's heart. But yeah, and then you got to post it through the letterbox and stuff. And I remember telling me I could either chuck it off the bridge or post it through the mailbox. The only reason I wanted to chuck it off the bridge was because it's chucking something off a bridge and I'm a boy. So you don't offer them that option if they're a proper boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like that confirms like the family and stuff. That was really a like turning point in this is my family, not just these people.
Okay. So when we submitted the adoption paperwork to formalise
what was that, 6 months in?
I think it was closer to like 9 or 10 months.
Yeah. Like obviously it felt like my home and stuff. Hello. Hello.
Okay. What tools and what things along the way have helped you to understand your story?
So obviously the life story book is quite good. Have you gone over that?
We have, yeah.
That was good.
Focus.
I'm trying. The life story book was quite good.
Yeah, okay.
Also just the fact that you were so open about everything. So like if I had any questions, you could, I know I could just come straight to you and ask.
Yeah.
Did that be alright? And that was very good because it like I sometimes had to question certain things, and it was nice to just be able to just know like that stuff from the offset.
Did that feel quite scary the first few times when you had any questions? Do you remember? Or
yeah, like at first it felt like I was being unfaithful to you, like because you're my parents now. And who's mum? I don't know that. That is my attitude now, but in like a good way. As in, like I have my parents and then I have them.
Yeah.
And they're two different people.
Okay.
But so at first it was a little bit like I feel like I shouldn't be talking about them. A little bit taboo almost, but then you were so open about it, I realised that it's not taboo. I think that's very important, being open and honest. Like, in the majority of cases, they're not going to want to go back to those parents, most likely. Some of them might, and it happens. I hope it doesn't. You all seem like lovely people from what I've heard, but yeah, most of the time, from what I understand, it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, it does happen, and we've talked about this today, that there are some children that feel like they need to just go back.
Yeah, and obviously I think the best thing you can do is fully support that, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because it could just be they just want to meet him or whatever. And obviously sometimes they might want to go permanently back, and that's just life, I guess, sometimes. That happens, but it's just trying to get hooked onto you as quick as you can. It's all about bribery, is what my man says. Bribery that's what parenting is. Bribery and blackmail.
Blackmail and bribery that's all parenting. You've mentioned in the past that you might, at some point, want to actually sit down and meet your mum and spend some time with her and ask her some questions.
If I ever met her, I'd ask her a question, but that's it.
Right. So
I don't want to meet her, but if I ran into, like, if there was a meeting or whatever, I had to, like, yeah, there's 1 or 2 questions I might ask, but I don't want to personally. Some kids might, some, like,
okay.
I don't personally, that's me, obviously, and I know I'm amazing, but I'm not everyone.
Okay.
But yeah, so,
okay.
Yeah, just make them feel very welcome.
Yeah. How do you feel about sharing your adoption story and your journey with others?
I mean, if you hadn't, like, told by now, I'm very open about it. It's like, I tell everyone, first day sixth form today, I immediately dropped the bombshell that I'm adopted. That was a fun conversation. Silence in the room, though.
How did they react?
Silence, and then they were like, that's cool. They always say that's so cool. It's like, oh, I've heard it before.
Do
but I want to like promote my story as much as I can, because it just like people don't quite understand adoption sometimes, and it's misconceptions and stuff, and that kind of thing. And it's good to just get my story out there, because it shows people that not all adopted kids are little broken kids. Like,